Good morning. Welcome back to the Hot Wrench Fabrication channel. Still got Project 55 Chevy up on the lift. I believe this is part 4. Today I'm gonna try and put this Jegs fuel cell in there. Got the rear end just kind of sitting in there all mocked up. I still need waiting for axles to come in. But I got the springs in, got everything just sitting there. You can tell the rear end's not perfectly level. It's just laying in there, but figured I better stick that in there so I have room to get the gas tank in. Make sure I don't have any issues with that. So here's your basic fuel cell. Got dual feed and dual returns. Imagine one of these is a vent and one of them is a return. But you can use them either way. I was looking at this just now and this kind of bugs me. Not sure why they wouldn't finish that. I mean, I'm sure it'll hold, but it just looks unfinished. So all those edges, so it's only welded on 2 sides. So I think I'll go ahead and just finish the weld off. Might as well, since there's no fuel in there. Just kind of weird that they would do that. I mean, like a couple extra seconds and bzzz. So that's today's project. Gonna go up in here somewhere. Got to build a little subframe out of some angle iron. It goes onto those ears and has to go around these fittings. So figure all that out and figure out how low this thing's gonna sit. I don't want it hanging down too low. It looks ugly, but I don't want too much up in the trunk either. So look how nice this rear end turned out. This thing is so cool. We just guessed at the springs, but they're 200-pound springs, so if they don't work, I won't get new springs. But yeah, everything's just loose, but I got the nice little wishbone on there. 4-link. This is all just sitting there, but looks pretty cool right now. It's all level. And that's nice and centered. So yeah, it's gonna be another good day in Hot Wrench Fabrication. Kind of a crappy day outside though. Up and down with this weather. A little cloudy, kind of rainy today, but at least it's not 110. So follow along, let's get this tank put in. Come on. Well, it doesn't look like much, but this was an all-day project. Started off by building a frame that sat underneath this. I had to make the cutouts for tank here. So that sat down in there, and then once I had that frame, then I attached it to the car, and then I boxed it all in. Like that. I'll show you another view when I get the tank in there and raise it back up. But it looks pretty good. Turned out nice. And it doesn't hang down too low, which is good. There she is. That looks pretty good. See what she looks like from underneath. So that should be pretty good, just low enough for the fittings to come out. Looks really nice. And the view from down here. You can see there, all nice. Lines up good. Get to the fittings. And then that'll hold it all down. I think we'll be in good shape. So this is just boxed in. Main structure is basically this angle iron. But I had angle iron all popping out, and angle iron's cool to work with, but it's kind of ugly. So I ended up just boxing this in, making a piece for here and a piece for here, filled that in. I think it looks a lot better. Got a little porosity in my welds today. It's kind of windy out, and I should have closed the door, but I'll put a tiny bit of filler in there and it'll be just fine. This is all hidden anyway. It's It's all covered up. But yeah, that's my project for the day. Kind of a turd. Took a while. A lot of grinding, a lot of welding, but looks nice. So on to the next project. I think I'll kind of start nailing out the floors and the tubs. See how that goes. So now that I have my gas tank mount all done, finished up, I'm going to start working on the drive shaft. So you can see I already cut the center out, and I was just kind of mocking up. This is not the drive shaft that's going in, but it's close enough. Actually, we're about to lose this bad boy. It's just sitting in there, but it's enough to mock up. So they had a 1-inch spacer in this particular transmission, which jacked it up. I mean, it was actually hitting on the floor up in there. I don't know why they had it so high. So this is probably closer to where the transmission's gonna sit. Although we're getting a new motor and tranny, so I don't know exactly, but it should be a lot closer to mock up. So right now this is at full droop. And you see I got plenty of room down here. So technically if I was just to kind of come through here and connect this back together, it would probably be fine, but I'm gonna kind of think outside the box a little bit and maybe work on some different ideas. So we'll see what I come up with on that. Upwards though, the drive shaft comes pretty far. It's about probably 1.5 inches or so up here, so I do need a little bit more clearance. So I may just do something kind of below this, make it look cool. But we'll see what I come out with. I'll let you guys know. All right, so this is what I came up with. I think it will look pretty cool. You guys can see that down here. It's kind of dark, but made a little cardboard template of what I want to do here. I'm going to make 2 of these on each side, and then I'm going to put bolts and spacers all the way around there to bolt them together just for looks. It would actually be strong enough just to weld 2 pieces on there like that, but I think it would look cool with some bolts in there. So I transferred my cardboard onto a piece of wood so I can use the wood as a template, and I did make it a little bit thinner for the plasma cutter. A little edge on there, so that should work pretty good. Put this on the, after I finish rounding it off just a little bit more, put that on the piece of metal, clamp it down, then use my plasma cutter, go around the edge and whip out 2 of those exactly the same size. So I'll show you what that looks like. So that's what I came up with. Kind of cool looking. Gotta weld it all up still, but just made some aluminum spacers. Those will obviously bolt down. A little more grinding to get this kind of equalized a little bit more. But I like it. Looks pretty cool. Should be very nice. It's definitely going to be strong. So I just, after I cut the 2 plates together, or 2 plates, I just welded them together and then ground them all so they're absolutely perfect. You can see how that fits nice and flush. So yeah, I'm stoked. Pretty happy with that. So after this, I don't know what I'm doing. Still have tubs and floors to do, so got a lot of work. I'm gonna weld this bad boy in, get it all finished up, show you guys the final product on that, and then I think that'll be the end of this one. We'll move on to part next. What are we on now? 4, 5? I'll have to look it up. But there'll be more to come. Well, I was gonna weld this in, but I think I'm gonna wait. I want to make sure that everything's 100% centered. Make sure that the transmission is 100% centered. This isn't even the tranny we're going to use. Yeah, it looks close, but I gotta measure and double measure everything. Check and triple check. So this can go in pretty much any time. As long as I got it all mocked up, I gotta get this rear end's just sitting there. You can see it moves back and forth pretty easily, so I gotta square everything up before I put this in. This can literally go anywhere. If I'm off just a teeny bit on the drive line, it's not gonna matter that much, but you know, if I have a gap on one side and not on the other like that, it's gonna look terrible. So, I mean, this isn't the right drive shaft or anything, so we're gonna wait. So that concludes this part. So much work. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do next. But for now, there's another edition hot wrench fabrication with the 55 Chevy back half. Thanks for watching.